Okay, let's get started. How to make a seamless weft using a bulk, beautiful hair, and make a seamless weft just like this one that has been drying for a day, and it's beautiful. It's got no glue on the bottom, and it's just absolutely a beautiful, perfect weft ready to be installed. Okay, let's get started. First, you want to make sure that you have your 1/2 inch by 3 yard hair wefting tape. That's what we're going to use today. You can always use the 3/4 inch if you'd like to have a little bit wider tape. It's up to you and how you like to do it. You want to have your tape pre-cut and also have your hair right by you, really dandy and handy, and you want to have a little bit 99% alcohol or pure acetone, whatever works for you. Even Windex works, just to keep your hands clean. A nice pair of scissors that's great for cutting, and you want to go ahead, pull out the tape that you want. I have two side tabs that I like to use, just, you know, for helping keep my fingers off the tape on the inside. Alright, then you want to use your liquid gold bond weave or ultra hold. It's up to you. This is very convenient because of the tip applicator. You want to go ahead, and I'm going to hold this down on the ends. I'm just going to take a little bit of this liquid gold glue and just spread it around like this, getting a lot right in the center of that tape. Okay, so we added a little bit of that. We're going to take just a little bit of this beautiful bulk virgin hair. I'm going to spread it out, kind of fan it out, so we can not have thick parts that don't get saturated with the bond weave. And you're going to just lay it in there nicely, trying to keep the hair direction the same. You can always use things to hold down your tape. It does make it so it doesn't run away from you. Just press lightly, and again, the 99% alcohol and a nice rag or cloth that you have is always nice to keep your fingers nice and clean. Okay, so once you have that laid in nicely and gently patting, you want to go ahead and press lightly yet again, and holding that down, pressing with your fingers. Moving up is always best in case you get any glue. You don't want it to go into the hair. And again, just fanning out what you have. So I'm just going to make a small weft here, and you can do this, like I say, 12 inches wide, then go back and cut whatever you like. So we're just going to lay this in here nicely all the way across, and just lightly hold and lay it down. Okay, so that's beautiful. Now this is one weft that I'm making, and I'm making this a very nice thin, but yet has plenty of hair in it for one weft. Especially if you're going to do the sandwich method, you want to make sure you're using thin amounts of hair with your virgin bulk loose hair. Okay, then you go back and just gingerly squeeze your glue so it doesn't run into your weft, and right at the top in the center, top to center, just go a bead all the way across, making sure that you have good amount of bond weave right where it needs to be, so that when you squeeze your tape, it does saturate the hair. So again, pulling up and out, so that way you do not get any of that glue. See how this little piece right here, you want to lay your hand down and pull up and out. Okay, that way you don't pull any of the liquid gold bond weave into your beautiful hair. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to go back, get your pre-cut tape, and get it ready to then lay right over there. And that's going to be one weft, one seamless weft. And I'm going to go right at the bottom of where the other tape is and gently push on the ends. Gently lift your finger up, because you want to gently do this, because you do not want the liquid gold bond weave to come down or run down into the bottom of the weft. So just, I'm patting very lightly, going up. There you go. And this way, all that bond weave gets nice and saturated in that hair inside the tape, and you know you're going to have a great weft. And once it's done, you can for sure know you're not going to have any shedding as long as that liquid gold bond weave is spread out. Okay, so again, you want to let that sit a good 24 hours. The longer you wait to let it dry, the better. And if you get any glue coming down into here, if you get any globs, any, you know, because you press too hard, the trick is this: 99% alcohol, pure acetone on a Q-tip, just dabbing. Okay, so that one's done, and we will go on to the next one and let this dry, and then once it's dry, we're going to come back in about 15 minutes and press down on it, and then we'll come back and cut the top off and let it dry, good 24 hours. Okay, that is a beautiful seamless weft. There we go. Using beautiful, beautiful Brazilian hair. Every 15 minutes I came back and just kind of squish and tap. So you want to go and cut the top off. This is another weft I made since I'm making a few of them. I want to show you. You just cut all that off, and when you get the glue and the hair on your scissors, you want to definitely keep those clean with the 99% alcohol, Windex, or pure acetone. That's just the way to do it. So then you have a beautiful weft all done, ready for the install. Also, as a little tip and a trick, if you have an area that you feel did not get enough glue, and when you look at it, you can actually see, here again, if you think that there's a space or a gap that you missed with the glue, you can always take your liquid gold bond weave and just make sure that you have a nice clean, make sure the tip is clean of everything. You can always go back and right at the top push into the tape and give a little squeeze, and that will definitely fix that area. And then you just let it dry and then go back and cut it. Okay, so what you can do here, and this is for a seamless weft, so again, we want to take our liquid gold glue and run a bead across all the way and get it nice and all in the middle and up at the top. So it will then go down to the bottom but not run right into your weft yet again. So you want a good amount. Okay, so again, we want to make sure this is where you like it. Now this one, what you do is, again, a lot of people don't mind adding this because they don't want to lose the length right like this. Because a lot of machine wefted has beard hairs, is what we like to call them. I like to go below that so you don't have anything that you're not using in length. So again, you want to push that right to the top and lay it down nice and gently, just like that. And you can do this color all the way across, or I'm going to show you what to do if you're doing a piano color. So now we're going to use a blonde, doing the very same thing. And again, you can do this whatever you like. We did it with the bulk hair. So now I'm going to do it again. Here's what a piano color looks like. And this now will lay right in there and gently patting. And again, one more going across and right above. Because I'm not minding losing the length of the weft, I am definitely going up higher. And this is for the purpose of not getting into the beard hairs. And as you notice, the beard hairs in this one's down to here, and the extra hair that has been weaved is only up to here. So you could bring this down actually, but I just wanted to show that this is definitely the way you can just leave out those hairs if you don't mind losing some of the length. Again, you want to just lay it in there, and voila. Now we have a piano colored weft all the way across. So now you want to lay that down, and of course you can do this however you like. In smaller sections, bigger chunks, like this one's bigger, and it comes out just beautiful. So once you do that, again, you want to take your bead of liquid gold bond weave, go right to the top, basically in the middle, top middle, getting every little line all the way across, every little area being saturated with that bond weave, because if you don't, it can shed. This is specialty hair wefting tape with 2 tapes in one, and you definitely need the bond weave to help bond the hair together, but the tape is what holds it all together. That's the nice trick. So I'm going to stop here. I love this. This is great. If you want to keep going, add more colors, then you would again do this all the way across and then add another little bit of glue. But remember, when you do that, and the thicker you make it, it's going to be a thicker weft. So if you're doing the sandwich method, you want to stick with just doing it like this. You can, however, use 2 wefts all the way across. It's up to you. So again, we're going to go right to the bottom and gently tapping. So this spreads it out. When you tap in the middle and tap at the bottom, it keeps it from going in and out. There we go. And again, this is a seamless weft using your machine weft. And again, if you get any at the bottom, tap it with a 99% alcohol, or pure acetone always helps break it up. It's hard to be perfect, but we try. And it's a beautiful weft yet again. And if you do that and you don't want to necessarily do the 99% alcohol or anything down here, use this as the part that goes to the back of your head and the other one to sandwich. Then that way you don't have to worry about it necessarily. Okay, so here is how you do it. And again, this one's done. Let it dry 24 hours before you apply it. And then go back, cut off the top. In 15-20 minutes, you want to go back and really squeeze that again going up. The more you squeeze it, it flattens it, makes it nice and tight, and it makes it a smaller weft. Also, I like to use sometimes when I'm doing this, if I really want to just do it once all the way, once it's dry a little bit more, I can just do this and press down, and then that way it squeezes it all up. Okay, so there we go. That one's done. And I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes and cut off the top, and now we have a beautiful piano colored seamless weft. Beautiful. I've showed you other ways to make that machine wefted seamless weft. I'm going to show you another little way to do it. Again, we're going to use some of this machine wefted hair, and I don't like the beard hair, so I'm going to go below it because I don't mind losing length. Now I'm going to go above the little beard hairs. In this weft they go down to here, so I'm going to lay that right about there and just tap that in nicely and let it sit for a second here, tapping, so it really sits in there. And I'm going to go back, add a little bit of this liquid gold bond to weave right across again. Nice and saturated. And then this time, I'm going to throw another one right on top. This is what's nice about using machine wefted. It's just a lot easier and quicker to lay down than using bulk hair. So, because you can hold it from the top and then tap. So now we have 2 of these wefts. That's pretty much the best amount of hair, I would say, for any small 1/2 inch. If you're going to use more, you're going to need more tape. I would use the 3/4 inch tape, and then that way you have more room to add more glue if you're going to use more than 2 wefts. So with just 2 wefts, 2 machine wefts here, and or any kind of bulk hair, this is plenty for the 1/2 inch. And again, right at the bottom, pushing up. And now we'll have a beautiful 2 machine weft thick seamless weft. And again, let it dry 24 hours and you will have a beautiful thin weft. Beautiful. We'll come back, cut the top off, trim it, and it's ready for the install in 24 hours. Beautiful. Okay, using your 1/2 inch tape, another fun seamless weft to make is you can use a tipped in hair extension to any color, any texture. Go ahead, take that, make it exactly the same way you did with your machine weft by, placing the liquid gold glue right across, top, center, and all the way, and just really getting it nice with that liquid gold glue. Bond to weave. And now you can take 2 tips at a time and just place it right above that. And this is a great idea to take tipped hair if you don't want to wear the tips and make your own seamless hair weft extension. You're going to do that the very same way you do using bulk hair, or if you'd like, you can just cut them all off and do it just like you do in a bulk hair, or do it this way. You can just lay it right out. You can also, with that said, do anything you like. You can be very creative. Go ahead, add the different color if you want. Lay that in there. Now you have machine weft tipped hair, and any kind of bulk hair, any kind that you like. You can make any weft. It's really up to you and what you like and how you'd like to wear them. I just think it's so much fun to be able to use tipped hair or machine weft hair or bulk hair. I've made hair wefts that have had 3 different textures in it just because I liked the way the movement was and the colors. So again, it's up to you, but it's just another great, fun, creative way to make a seamless weft. So again, you want to just take your liquid gold bond to weave, and I'm going to take this one and run it right across the top of this one quickly, just to show you one more fun way to make a cute little weft. And with my pre-cut tape, just going to lay it down just like that, and again, all going to the top. You can get pretty quick at this, and after you do it a while, I've been doing it for quite a long time, so I get it done pretty quickly, as you can see, where others maybe the first time might just take a few minutes to just do it slowly. So again, you want to make your weft any colors, any textures, just let it dry, tapping so the glue and the bond goes up. Always, if you get any glue down here, always move your hand up in the up direction, and that way you know that you won't get any of that down in here. Again, if it does get in here, 99% alcohol, pure acetone, always with a Q-tip will definitely break it up, and you can pretty much get it out of the hair. Okay, let that dry 24 hours, cut off the top, come back in about 15-20 minutes and really tap it down, and then really squeeze it so it really holds together. Okay, beautiful. Just one more way to make a fun weft using tipped hair and machine weft hair, or like I said, bulk hair weft. Okay, in this clip we're going to show you how to use Ultra Hold, and it's a little different because you're going to be using this mono jet, and this is nice for people who want to have a really, just a clear, if they're worried about it, a clear weft, and you just pour a little bit here in the top, and then, whatever you use you can actually pour back in if you don't use it all up. So I'm going to pour in a little bit here just to show you. I'm holding it at the bottom so it doesn't run out. Then tip it up and then push, and you want to have a little area. So what you're going to do with this is go not too quickly, because see, as you can see, it kind of really gets stringy. So I'm going to dab it in a little bit of alcohol and push the air out. You want to push that air out because you don't want it to go into your weft. Okay, so run your bead all the way across just like this, nice and slow, because this is thinner and it does run, so it will run into the weft. So you have to, definitely go slow while you're doing it. Okay, so once you apply that, you want to go ahead, have your hair ready, and we're going to make a bulk loose hair, seamless here. And again, just laying it right across, fanning your hair out. And it definitely just tapping down, and this will definitely, with blonde hair, it's kind of nice because it's clear. It's definitely going to be a clear weft. So that is the benefits. If you do not like amber at all, that's the benefit of using this, and you have to definitely let this dry good 24 hours for it to really bond and work well. It's definitely highly stinky compared to liquid gold bond to weave. So you must have a fan going. Always have your extra tape cut. And again, right at the bottom, and just lightly tapping all the way across, because you don't want it to fall back in. And because it is a definite, you can see it's already coming down. Because it's so much thinner than liquid gold bond to weave, it will really be runny. So you want to tap it slowly. As a matter of fact, it's actually better just to let it sit for about 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, then come back and really then lightly run your hands across if you don't want it to come down like it's starting to do right now because it's so runny. But it's a wonderful way to make a seamless weft if you don't have liquid gold glue, and it makes it nice and clear. Okay, so that weft we're going to let sit, and then we'll come back and then pat and press lightly, and this will be a seamless, clear, bulk loose weft. Beautiful. Okay, in this clip I wanted to show you how to trim down a weft that I've worn and used and taped and retaped and worn for a good 6 months. What I do, this one's dry because I have another install in right now. I like to go back before I install it ever again, and I like to trim it down. I don't mind losing a little bit of the length. Sometimes I use these pieces for side pieces, but you can go ahead, cut all the extra tape that's there and glue. And you know, as long as you don't go too low into the weft, you don't want to hurt the integrity of your weft, the strength of your weft. So you want to go down as far as you can. And really, when it's dry, it's so much easier to go back and then trim it down as far as you can on front and on back side of your weft. And then when you're re-wefting, retaping to apply, this way you don't have, it's still thin. You want it to be as thin as you can possibly wear it and make it. This was a lot of hair. As you can see, this is a lot of hair in one weft. So I have to make it a little bit thicker than most. So, but like I say, I apply using liquid gold glue to the hair for my installs. I don't do the sandwich method because I do wear so much more hair and in the weight. So here again, I'm just trimming off the back, and as you can see, this is quite a bit of tape and glue that you don't have to necessarily retape. So the thinner you can make your weft, the better, and then retape it, and then you can reinstall it. Like I say, this one's been cut, trimmed down. 6 months I've been wearing the same beautiful virgin hair extension, and I just do this every time. I trim it down, retape it, and then it's nice and beautiful, thin, right to my head again. So as I'm talking, you can see I'm just trimming across and just really giving it the old trim down. Okay, so this one's now nice and trimmed down, and okay, so I've been trimming as much as I can off, and you know, still leaving the integrity of the weft together because you want to make sure that it does not fall apart. I'm leaving this here because I want it to be one big weft, and then I'll cut it later. But together it is nice, trimmed down, ready for retaping. So again, you want to take your liquid gold bond to weave is what I do. I'm just going to show you real quick the tip and trick what I do. I just take it, run a little bit of glue. It doesn't have to be a lot because we're not making a new weft, just a little bit. And then I go ahead and I lay that pre-cut, trimmed down weft right in that tape. And actually the top part, I just take a little bit, because I'm going to take another piece, and I just take a little bit of glue just like that right across the top, and again cut my tape, lay it right on top, and now just that quick my weft is ready for an install. And you don't have to wait with this because it's already dry, the seamless is made, it's just trimming it down. So now after I make this whole weft and I really press hard. Of course, you can always take a piece of trim, anything, and just press on it and make it nice and tight. And then I go back because it is thinner than this 1/2 inch, and I just cut right off the top. Right the top right off. There you go. Right off there. And now this weft is ready to be installed, reinstalled, and again, I've worn this for 6 months. And it's still going strong. And it's beautiful. Literally, this was the dark Brazilian hair that was lifted to my colors. And so this weft is ready to go and to be reinstalled. There you go. Beautiful. Little tip and trick on how to just trim it down, retape it, and apply. Just that nice. Beautiful.